Hello everyone and welcome to TRL Round 2 at the Malaysian Grand Prix. It's the Sepang International Circuit and we're taking a look at the qualifying positions. And it's Rafa in first place on pole for the second time this season. Half a second back is Stylen backing up the two Red Bulls on the front row there. Third place is HSV for the first of the Blessed Mobiles. Chassis 42 taking Sauber to fourth place there, second row for the first time this season. Kid Byers in 5th place, Brad in 6th, Mighty Murph in 7th, Danielson in 8th place, The Hef in 9th, Jensen Button joins us for 10th place, ahead of Formula 1 Rocks in 11th place. And now as we wait to get to the grid, have a look at the times there, and it looks like Rafa is a fair way ahead with half a second lead on everyone else. The top 5, other than Rafa there, was quite close there, so it was a pretty interesting session, and the battling has been tight between those guys. So here we are, we're sitting on the grid here waiting to get going, and already Stylen has disappeared clean from view, and this race was plagued by bugs and lag, and it was pretty awful. Stylen couldn't see me either, and we'll see a couple of problems as we come through. Now into the first corner as Rafa is in the lead, and I go very aggressive around the outside of HSV, hoping that I don't hit Stylen if he can see me, because I can't see him. And it turns out we're actually driving inside each other for most of this race, as I've taken second place apparently ahead of Stylen in the very small gap there back to HS, and Stylen's back in front of me, slotting in behind Rafa as we're looking at the position indicator to work out what's going on, but we'll just ignore it and we'll have a look at the flag conditions at the moment. As we can see, you can't see it at the moment, but for most of the race it was yellow flags, otherwise green flags for a split second, as we see there. Yellow flag once again, no incidents whatsoever that we could see. But what it did mean was, every time I tried to make an overtake on Rafa, as we see around the outside here at the hairpin, can't quite do it, but I get the drive out, get down the inside. And I look to get the job done here into the next corner, and I take it, and then I get a legal overtake on him because of the yellow flag. So if I want to make a move here without the game giving me a penalty, I basically have to time it perfectly to the split second I get a green flag in order to get around him. Later on in the race we decided to get rid of that, and any overtaking penalties because of the flags were just going to be removed. But at this point I was still just trying to make sure I didn't get a penalty. No point taking one spot and then getting a 10 or 5 second penalty for that. As we come around, it's the second lap now, and Rafa, taking a very defensive line, gets a bad run. I get down the inside here, and once again tried to time it perfectly with the green, but I couldn't, and it's an illegal overtake. I have to let him back through there, and I slot in behind him as he gets a little slide there, sideways through that corner, and I'm alongside once again. Can't really make a move around here, but I get very, very close to him as I have a look down the inside anyway, but I try to pull out, and as we come around the corner, nearly making contact. Good thing Rafa took the wide line there, because I would have gone straight in the side of him, I think. But we're still looking right behind him here as we come into the first of the hairpins. Well, the only real hairpin, I guess, apart from the last one. And no move made there this time as we jump ahead to the 5th lap. So I've been behind Rafa for a while now, and I'm still having a look to try and get past him. As I have a look down the inside here, I know I'm going to get an illegal overtake for that, but that's not where I'm going to make the move. I know he's going to come down the inside, and I'm going to try and go around the outside and get him with the green flag. And I do successfully. So there you go. Overtake done. Perfectly timed. And I slide around the outside of him and go through into the second sector now, defending from a aggressive Rafa there behind, looking in the mirrors. And we jump ahead to lap 9, and I've actually gone way longer on these options than Rafa and Stylen. Stylen pitted about, I'd say, 3-4 laps earlier than me. Rafa pitted 2 laps before me, and I'm in now, swapping the options for some more options. And I've come back out in 3rd place. Stylen is somewhere ahead. We can't see him, but that's where he is. He's ahead of Rafa. And we're just sitting behind Rafa now. Can't get any drive on the cold tyres, and we have a bit of a slow lap trying to get round. And that's lap 12, and this is one of the problems with online racing, you see. The car freezes there for a second, then automatically speeds up, and I've had that issue before. Now what I tend to do is basically I use the brakes a bit, but not too much so I didn't lock up, and I just turned in for the corner, not knowing where the car was going to be, obviously because it was frozen. I was given a 3-second penalty for that, but As you'll see at the end of the race, there isn't actually any results screens, so we can't really tell who was where, but most of the people were okay with that penalty being removed due to the game freezing. As I go around and I pass Rafa finally on the 16th lap, and it wasn't long after that he pitted, and then it was a lap later I made my final stop. So we come round, using up all the pit lane there as much as possible. Every 10th counted in this race. And now swapping the options for some primes and exiting out as Rafa comes around the outside, and Stylen is somewhere in between. And we still can't see him, so it's going to be a tricky sort of battle for Rafa if me and Stylen both attack him. We can't see each other, but he can see us both attacking him. He's going to defend from 2 cars at the same time. But that wasn't the case, I don't think, because Rafa makes a bit of a mistake there and goes wide, and we have a look down the inside but have to pull out. There's not enough room. And it's lap 26 with only 3 laps to go. So this is really the battle for the lead in the closing stages of the race. My tyre wear seemed to be more supreme throughout this race, so I had better life towards the end and better speed. And it was Rafa who was pitting in a bit earlier, so we are looking to try and get him in the closing laps as his tyres start to fade away. And we've got the DRS on him, and we're having a look, trying to take a peek around him as we go down. Have a look around the outside in 8th gear, brake late, try and get around him, but we go a little bit wider than what we would have liked. But he's there, and we try and get down the inside, and it's given me an illegal overtake for that move. And I wasn't sure if that was just the yellow flag or me actually cutting the corner, because I did take that corner pretty fine. So I think I'll just let him through and try and get him back later. We've got 2 laps still, and I'm feeling pretty confident on these tyres at this point, so we'll just wait behind and not take our chances too much, as we nearly crashed in the back of him there. So what was that about, not taking too many chances? And we are following him through the double right-hander now in the middle of the 2nd sector. Run a little bit wide, but that seems to be okay. And we come into the hairpin, braking very, very deep, trying to just, I don't know, force a mistake, put him under pressure, or try and get him that way. As we have a look, he has a little bit of a lock up there apparently, and we're following him through. We're getting very, very close to him at this stage. Can run a bit quicker through here, and I have a look and I think, okay, maybe I can go around the outside, but no, that is a bad, bad idea as I lock up and go wide. Luckily for me, I wasn't too far away, and I'd already gone through the DRS zone. I could get that. I could use the width of my turn to get better drive down the straight and a higher top speed as we come into the final corner, about to start the last lap. And I've pretty much made up all the time I've lost with the mistake, and I'm right on the back of him, and I'm already having a look to grind past him. No bother with the slipstream, just try and use the DRS and just try to get deep down into this corner. And we have a look, and the hand goes up. Not really too worried about that as much as my computer driver is. And there's a bit of contact mid-corner, and we get locked up, and it brings me wide, and I think I might have knocked him off the track, but I feel like I was up on him enough for that move to be okay. As we have a look at the screen, and there's actually some water coming down now. It's starting to rain, and I've heard a couple of people complaining on the last lap, and I wasn't really sure what was going on with that, but as I start coming around these sweepers, I knew exactly what they meant. It was pretty horrendous now, trying to just hold the lead, but with the tyres and that, I started pulling away from her for a fair amount, so I knew that I just had to keep the car on the track and get it home, and it would be a win, hopefully, for the first time in this championship. It's only the 2nd round, though. But those Red Bulls were very, very quick in the 1st round and in the pre-season, so it didn't look likely for me to get a win so early in the race. But so far, it's looking quite nice as we're coming around through the final sector now. The corner, I made a mistake on the last lap, but at this time I take it very, very easy. Make sure I hit the apex, don't run wide, and get a nice drive out of there. No DRS this time, unlike the others, but we're coming round. Only one corner to go before the end of the race, and it's looking pretty good for a win as I take a wider line to make sure I don't try too hard to turn in and then get too much wheel spin. And I cross the line for the first time. It's a win for me. And there we go. We're having a look at the data now for the championship to see what the positions were. It's Chastity 42 at myself in the first place for the first time, Rafa in second, Stylen on third, and it was Kidbuyers who wrapped up fourth. And we look at the championship now, and it's very, very close between the top three, the two Red Bulls and the Saubers. So thanks all for watching, everyone. It was a very, very exciting race for me, taking my first win. China will be a battle, so hopefully it'll be a very interesting race. Thanks everyone for watching, and goodbye.